Racing League fans, former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rig. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Daytona International Speedway, the home of the Great American Race. Welcome back, everybody, here to Simtrax Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live here with, oddly enough, a little bit of a throwback here for some of you out there who may remember the 87s, and that's what we're going to kick this season off with, is the 87 cars out here knocking down some solid times at none other than the Legacy track. Now, what you will see is some of them, as the suspension bounces on what we're looking at as Connor Gibson currently, that is actually the track. So you're going to see guys really trying to wrangle these cars around this track because it is extremely rough out there. Right now, we're taking a look at Paul Wilson. This is kind of what he has to fight with out there, and currently he is running at 202 miles an hour. So right now, these guys are doing some solid blistering speeds out there, and I cannot wait to see how this gets kicked off. Long time no see for everybody out there who is joining along with us here tonight. David Lakey, I already see you were here first. Patsy Steele ended up being second, and Mama Goose, always glad to see you back out there in the chat. Stella is still currently out enjoying her vacation in Europe, so you guys are going to be getting a little bit of me tonight. Hopefully I don't talk enough that it annoys and bothers you here, but we're going to give it a heck of a run. Bunch of new drivers out there on the track as well. A couple of guys have been leaning back and forth of how they're going to do this tonight. Brett Guzik out there in the 04, who just narrowly missed the championship last season for season 12. Definitely a heartbreaker. Whoa! As it looks like he's going to be dealing with much of the same this time. I think he's about to figure out what that 87 will do, and he'll be, I'll tell you what he'll be doing back in the race trailer for him, as he's getting already a little slung around and messed up. Most of our drivers out there have maintained their number that they normally keep. Mark Allen Bivens being one of them in the number 76. Bob Berry out there in the Tide, number 75. You can't mistake that Chevrolet, as his Monte Carlo is getting around the track there pretty well. His top speed, actually, out there, he must have been out there in the draft at 220 miles an hour. So he has been really flying here. Now, iRacing says this is the most accurate car that they have on the circuit, and I've got to admit, this is my most favorite. I say this car, especially when it comes to speedway tracks, it is trying to control the uncontrollable here. So much speed, so little handling. The brakes are terrible. The tire fall off is immense. It is pretty wild out here as they continue to ride out there on the 10.5s. Back as if we were old school. Also old school, if you keep in mind, not only no safer barriers on the wall, there will be lots of damage when they make contact with the wall, as you can see with Brett Guzik making contact with the wall, but the pit stops. Pit stops are going to be ever so crucial here tonight, and no, we are not going to be looking at 14-second pit stops. Some of these are going to be pretty brutal, as you're so used to seeing that 14 or 15-second pit stop time. We may see them round around about 45 to a minute for 4 tires and fuel. So these guys are really going to be needing to time it here tonight for them to get a good run. And if somebody off-cycle pits, it could either make or break the race, and there's no doubt about that. Seeing that 1 minute to make up on this track is going to be extremely difficult. Seeing that most lap times between best and some of their last lap times is somewhere between 43 and 45 seconds out here tonight. And obviously you'll know who will be in the front and who will be in the back depending on those times. Now, we still have about another 3 minutes of practice here. They'll have 5 minutes of qualifying to get out there and run their best lap and get out there onto the track. Now, a little update. Nick Nickerson is our Season 12 champion out there. So let's get Season 13 kicked off, and I'm hoping this is going to go out with a bang. Nick Nickerson currently is holding that number 2 spot here during practice. So it looks like out in front for him will be getting the night here tonight. I'm definitely excited to see how he is able to hang on there. Benjamin Lacey in the number 7 Pontiac, he is out there as well. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, not just Toyotas, Fords, and Chevys. We're going to be having Buicks, Pontiacs, Fords, and Chevrolets. So I'm super excited to see that iRacing has included all 4. As Jason Greenwell just realized, that is speeding in the pit. So a lot of guys have been practicing, I promise you. They have been practicing, but a lot of things have been changing here really overnight, and as the track temperature changes, it's going to be tripping them up just as bad. So let's take a quick little look at what we've got lined up here for tonight to kick season 13 off here at Daytona International Speedway. 111 degree temperature out there on the track. Fantastic for the tires, probably for the first 10 to 15 laps, and then we're going to see the ice skating out there. But 113 laps they are going to have to run here tonight, give or take green, white checkers. We'll see how it goes with a 70% fuel limit. I see our fuel run being just about that lap 24 to lap 27, depending whether they're in the draft, which draft really isn't going to matter as much as you would think. Right now, we're seeing that's going to be huge, but there's fortunately 4 sets of tires down in the pits. Normally, these guys having such fast pit times, I expect to see them really pushing it here to see how far these cars will go before they have to pit due to the amount of time. All right, I have down there as a commentator Stella. I do like throwing that in there, as she will be joining us after a few races here, as of course we are here at Daytona, and I believe next week is going to be at Atlanta, so that's going to be very good out there. One faster pair, so these are guys will have that mulligan one last time. And race control, of course, Miss Nicole Krazel and Bradley Shin joining us yet again. They've got their hands full, especially with a new vehicle, and these guys are really going to be trying to hold on and make the best of it here, as many times we've seen them come out onto the track, make calls, and they are just going to have to stick to it and not take any lip from any of the drivers out there saying, oh, the black flags, oh, blah, blah, blah. That is not going to matter, and we do appreciate Perfect Shine Auto Spa re-signing back on yet again for a sponsorship here with the Bandit Racing League. Guys, check out Geezer Authentics as well. We'll talk about them a few times here tonight, as you're going to see them time in and time out. Every time you buy something from Geezer Authentics, 100% of the proceeds definitely go into the league, and it helps support the league and the race prizes and everything that they do to make this league actually work. None of this is done for profit out here. So let's go ahead and get this one underway. I'm waiting to see who is going to take behind the wheel first. Looks like Nick Nickerson's going to get out there in his race car. Look to see if that number 2 Buick can get something a little going. If I'm not mistaken, I think I checked earlier, and he should be in the Big Red Propane number 2. Yes, he is. As we get down there, he may be trying to get that engine warmed up just a little bit before he gets going, and away we go. Notice how the paint's a little bit different on the exit of pit road. So you'll notice that what used to be the merging onto the racetrack was very early. You could actually merge on before turn number 1. We'll see if they decided to include the blue cone. That way they guys aren't merging out onto the on the piece. There's the blue cone right there. He is allowed to now merge on, and away he goes. And he's really going to open this thing on up. And this is, I got to admit, super fast here out there on the track. We'll take a little look at his speed, and this is already halfway through lap number 1. We're going up and touching about 183 miles an hour here for Mr. Nickerson. Great job here so far. Also, if you guys are used to seeing any kind of next-gen racing here out there with any kind of racing out there here on SimTrax Broadcasting, you'll notice how some of the next-gen cars out there have a 5th gear. Only 4 here in this one. So these guys will have 4 on the floor, and then they'll let it eat. Here we go. 196 is how fast he's going. Nickerson doing a great job here. 201 and still pulling. Man. And I think that would be the thing, is the car out of the draft. And most of the time, this is right before they started restrictor plating the cars, and this is obviously why. I got to admit, I say give them more speed, 100%, but at some point, there's an egg inside the car, and it will scramble. So you can make the car as safe as you want, but you can't figure out how to restructure the body to handle that kind of an impact with the wall. Nick Nickerson knocking down, looks like 8th place start for him, and he's got to hurry up and get around one more time. Let's take a look at where all of our guys are starting. John Osborne right now holding that top number 1 spot in the 81 Ford. Lakey, there he is, coming in second, and Mason Flagar unseating John Osborne. Right now, Osborne looks like his life or his time up in the number 1 spot is going to be backing out there as Osborne just trying to hold on to a top 5 start. That's getting him knocked down to 3. And moving on, Cody Welch, we haven't seen him out here much at all. Looks like the 85 Chevrolet has returned back to the Bandit Racing League. Great to see him coming back. Connor Gibson, he's getting out there. Looks like 8th spot for him. Ethan Sikorsky will be starting in 10th. He should have his last lap complete. David Lakey just finishing his last lap. Knocks him into the 4th position. Not bad. So his march up has been doing very well. Another driver that has been super fast and has been on my radar here is Benjamin Lacey. Not bad here by Benjamin Lacey. As you guys heard a little bit of that music in the background, that is actually Benjamin Lacey. He has actually produced and actually done that music, and has as impressive. I love it. All right. All right, we still have about another minute left here in qualifying. There's Nick Kaufman. He's out there in the number 500 Ford. Looks like he is getting out there right now, sitting 17th. I think a little tricky there on the number. I don't think they do triple digits here, but they're letting Nick Kaufman go ahead and run one here tonight, so that's okay. We'll see if he is going to be a sub or if he's going to be a permanent driver. If he can come out here and put on a good show, I think he may earn his way in. Right now, the only thing he's earned is 19th spot. Crosses the line here. And I would assume he's going to pick up, oh yeah, more than 2 handfuls there, up to 17. Or excuse me, up to the 7th position. Kevin Foster, there he is. I'm sure he's in another big red propane car, sitting 6th. And we'll talk a little bit about the number 5 out there of Sean Britt. I'm glad to see Britt returning back after an unfortunate fall out there during the playoffs. And we'll see how this is going to continue. All right. Boy, I'll tell you what, I can say it 100 times, one time or another. Bob Berry might be the one to upset this. This is a fantastic start. I would like to appreciate you guys once again and tell you many, many thanks out there for especially subscribing as well out here to Simtrax Broadcasting, as we've been doing a heck of a job out here, almost nudging the edge of 750 here, and we are still continuing to keep it going up and up and up, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget, when you subscribe, that you can come into the chat. I can see everything that you guys say, and I do respond. Yes, I do respond. I definitely try to get to you guys when I can, but right now, let's go ahead and get our Perfect Shine Auto Spa starting grid here for tonight. Let's get this one underway as Bob Berry and Jackson Knock will be starting in the front row. Mason Flagar starts 3rd next to Mark Allen Bivens. Not bad out there as the Young Guns crew starting to really clump together. Moving on to David Lakey, who starts 5th. Kevin Foster sitting 6th. Interesting, normally the 8th starts 8th, but he's going to get a couple extra here tonight. John Osborne, who made it into the playoff via points and still kept churning forward, unable to get to the very end, starts 7th, and Nick Kaufman is our 8th place driver. Brett Guzik starts 9th. I guarantee a bunch of fans out there for Brett Guzik getting the top 10 start, as well as Cody Welch. He's starting in the outside of row number 5. Moving on to Nolan Gross, who starts in the 02 Chevrolet, who's 11th. Very close, as he just got out of class today and was able to hurry up and get back onto the track. He was nervous he wasn't going to make it, but he did, and he'll be starting on the inside of Sean Britt, who finishes out our 6th row. Moving on, as we got a bunch of cars here tonight. Connor Gibson starting 13th next to Paul Wilson in the 82 machine. Right now, his Buick has been doing great out there tonight. We'll see if he can continue moving his way up to the front, but he'll have Ethan Sikorsky and Benjamin Lacey. Lacey with a terrible qualifying time out there in his Pontiac. He's going to be in a load of trouble here starting 16th. Brandon Jackson starts 17th next to Curtis Yancey. As we remember, he was actually one of the most improved drivers. I believe it was season 10 out there. He'll be starting 18th. Nick Nickerson, holy cow. What in the world happened? He started way back here, showing 19th. Eddie Haggy is our 20th place driver. Jason Greenwell, Carter Phillips moving on back. Not bad. They've got a lot of work to do, and I tell you, as rough as this track is, the farther back you are, it's going to be even harder and harder each lap to get back. Douglas Ross, you've heard him up here in the booth. This time, we're going to see that man down on the track, so he'll be out there in the number 25 Folgers machine. Out there, I believe, for Tim Richmond is who he's representing in that paint scheme, and Bill Harkins. Back here in the 24th spot, the number 11 car, he is going to be seeing if he can fight his way back to the front. One final car left in this is going to be Ricky Hart Jr. Appreciate Ricky Hart. Last time, if I remember right, seeing him, I saw him all the way back at Dover of last season. So definitely a heartbreaker to see Ricky Hart out there. He is super fast, but can he keep the tires on this thing? And I want to take a quick little look at his paint scheme out there. Almost looks spray painted. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get back up to the front where Bob Berry, out there in the Tide machine, is getting ready to take off with this one. All drivers getting prepped out there. Getting ready to get this one underway. It's going to be fast, and hopefully we don't end up with a bunch of cautions, because once these things get in the draft, we are all over the track and we're wiggling. All righty, here we go. Bob Berry, Jackson Knock, Mason Flagar, Mark Allen Bivens. Green flag is out, and away we go. This is kicking off season 13 as the Geezer Authentics 113 kicks off lap number 1 as we dive into turn 1. Jackson Knock here to the outside. Cars are wiggling around already, already starting to give each other a little bit of space. Draft is not needed in these cars. If you do draft, it's going to change up that car a lot more than they would expect. 3 wide here up toward the front as David Lakey goes ahead and marches on out. Something tells me he smells blood in the water, and he wants to get out of there. Absolutely not, as the Sharks swarm around him there as he falls all the way back down to the 20th position. Barry still leading this lap, though, as we move back up front to Mark Allen Bivens, who's quick in the chase down to the bottom. Oh, Bob Barry ain't going to get a lead lap this time. Mark Allen Bivens leads lap number 1 as we already got a few guys separating, already heading into turn 1 and 2. Bob Berry marching back, though, unfortunately. This is going to be very difficult here. Obviously enough, you guys, if you're a little confused by the paint schemes and where your favorite driver is, me too. Kevin Foster not doing such a bad job. He is up here battling for the lead down on the bottom. So Foster getting out front with the number 8 Big Red Propane Buick. He has gained 5 here on the night, takes the lead away from Mark Allen Bivens. Bivens into the wall. Right now, a very stout car here has been able to ricochet off the wall without any sort of damage there to the side. So it looks like Mark Allen Bivens will be able to continue. Doesn't look like anything major there, and don't hear anything from his spotter saying that there was any trouble with the car. Just looks like he got out of the turn a little bit loose and used the wall to help slow him down. Not bad, as everybody here starting to single file out here. Starting to spread apart. Fastest time out there on the track is actually going to go to Nick Nickerson, who's battling right now for the 14th and 15th spot. There he is in the number 2, as we see him starting to march his way up to the front. 4 positions gained so far, as Mason Flagar has lost 10. He's down to 13th, and we've got a caution back in the back already. Guys are sliding around and flying all over the track. Ricky Hart sliding through the grass here. I believe David Lakey as well was able to get out of there. I believe 2 drivers that got caught up. Biggest one here, Curtis Yancey, has gotten a boatload of damage. Front end missing on that car. Jennifer Wonder still rooting on. Should be Welch out there. Right now, he's sitting second. We'll see what happened to Curtis Yancey here in just a moment. As these guys start slowing down, might want to start clutching it here. Jennifer Wonders says happy to be back. He got engaged while he was away. Oh, my God. All right. A lot of big things happen. You only think 1 month off, this wouldn't be that big of a deal and not that many things would change, but it is. I think it'd be a lot cooler if they had the pace car ended up being a throwback, especially when you're running the 87s. Maybe get an old Grand Prix car out there. All right, so Douglas Ross said he was caught up in this as well. Looking to see if the number 25 is able to get some speed. I don't know if he's slowing down a little bit. Shows him only about 100 miles an hour. I don't know if he had trouble getting that thing refired up here. Let's take a look. What happened? Ooh. Douglas Ross is the one who made it out of there. Curtis Yancey is our guy with the most problem. All right, let's take another look at it here. I'd like to give a quick shout out there to our caution race sponsor out there, LAT Racing Oils, for this caution replay. Contact with the wall, looks like from the number 30 of Carter Phillips. Catches the 51 and ruins his beautiful paint scheme. Love seeing that mirror chrome there on the numbers. Fantastic. It looks beautiful out there. I'm hoping that he does not have any wheels starting to wobble around. They all look like they're straight as he hit that wall pretty square right with the front end. All right. Let's get back to it here. Thank you again once again. LAT Racing Oils out there for all your racing oil needs, especially for drag racing or autocrossing. Circle track driving or dirt track driving, doesn't matter. They've got it all. Budget Rides Off-Road, hello BRL. Appreciate you joining us out there. Kelly Queel, appreciate you joining us here as well. Definitely big race here tonight. Couple of laps down though. Got almost about 5 complete here. And we go under caution from a little spin out that we saw out there with Curtis Yancey. Making contact with the wall. Looked like Carter Phillips had ricocheted, came down a little bit, and then unfortunately it hooked the 51 Pontiac, who still remains in pit road. Fortunately, they do have one faster pair here in this league. Does he want to use it this early? Appears so. Looks like a minute and a half there in the box. And he's going to be working his way back out as a fresh new car and be back at it again. New pit stop here for Nick Kaufman. A little bit offset pitting here. I love to see the strategy. The top 15 drivers did not come down into pit road. Everybody else coming down looks like a top off and go about 8 seconds. And everybody getting fuel. Let's see if we can find Kaufman here. I'm waiting to see. Yep, looks like, whoop, I stalled that thing out there. There he goes. He's got her going now. Yeah, one thing you'll notice is the drivers are even noticing out there. A lot of drivers right now are having a little bit of trouble with the way it handles, two, the track battling them here tonight. I mean, even things like the clutch. You're seeing a couple guys stalling it out here. It just grabs so much differently. The next gens or the Xfinities, it slides into gear pretty easy. You're able to change the gears really well. The 87s, on the other hand, you almost have to stab it in the gear to get it to move on to the next one on the tree, and it just be so hard to get it going, get it back going again. All right, looks like Bill knows who is out there. Budget Rides Off-Road, actually enjoying out there. A little busy with life, but appreciate you joining us here. We'll be getting underway here in just a moment. And right now, I believe Kevin Foster is sitting out front. He's also has Ultimate Towing out there. Ultimate Towing and Recovery. Check that out. All right. Looks like from Katy, Texas. Pace car is off. Kevin Foster, Cody Welch here in the front. One Buick, one Chevrolet. Away we go yet again. Back under green to get lap number 6 started here. 6 laps complete, number 7 on the way. Kevin Foster, Cody Welch, Paul Wilson, Mark Allen Bivens. Bivens the only one maintaining a position, currently started 4th, sitting 4th in his Chevrolet. As Monte Carlo definitely is having to work there on the outside. You see how bumpy it's getting. Guys staying 2 by 2, couple is shifting out. And Bill Harkins looks like he is falling back though, and that might be by design. He is not willing to get in the mix of that, as it looks like the Apex Racing car has dropped down to now 22nd position. Right now, Yancey and Sikorsky are going to want to fight their way back up to the front, as well as John Osborne. And Carter Phillips. Uh-oh. Something happened here. Down pit road he goes. I don't know if he's having to serve a drive-through penalty. Hopefully that does not kill him later on here in this run. Yeah, how long can a full tank of fuel? We're aiming somewhere between 24 to 27 laps. He'd be forced to come down for fuel. Seeing that some of these guys did come down on lap number 4, we're going to see them come in beyond lap 30. And leading that charge will be Connor Gibson and Nick Nickerson, who are hanging out there in 14th and 15th position. Everybody back beyond that, aside from a couple of guys who have fallen off here. Ethan Sikorsky dropping off, and Bill Harkins, who did not hit, falling back. He wants to kind of ride behind and watch the race kind of come to him. Unfortunately, it is definitely a way back there. See how Nick Kaufman's doing out there. He's trying to work his way up to the front. Whoa! Contact here in the back. Douglas Ross off the reservation. Drops down way into the backstretch infield here, and he's going to be fighting to get back. Let's check out Cody Welch here, as right now he is sliding down in front of Bob Berry. Let's check a ride along here with Bob Berry. Right now, tough angle here. You notice how it's extremely hard. The windshield seems to be a little bit smaller. Watch how much this car jerks around on the turns. Not as straight and smooth as it used to be. Now after the repaving, everything feels pretty solid. Bob Berry doing a great job though, still holding on to a top 5 in his number 75 Monte Carlo. Rotating on back, somebody who seems to be on the move here is Benjamin Lacey in the number 7. You notice him down on the bottom. He's getting behind the number 5, Sean Britt. Britt might have his hands full here as they look beyond right there to the inside. That's going to be Benjamin Lacey, and now he's got 6th. Quick pass there as they get past the dog leg, diving into turn number 1. That gives Lacey 10 on the night for gained positions. Not too bad here with only 11 laps into this race. And we've got guys shuffling all over the track. I mean, even Paul Wilson up there. I haven't talked about him at all tonight. In the number 82 Buick, he has fought his way up to the 2nd position. But look at that immediately. 1, 2, 3, down he goes. Now he's down to 5th. So he's going to have to do some work out there. And oddly enough, it almost seems like some of these drivers out here have actually watched some older races. And what you'll see is guys get about 3 wide or dive into turn 3 at the lowest point and shoot into 3 on the low line. And that's how you're able to make the pass a lot faster than you would expect. All right, let's see Mark Allen Bivens. He had the lead there for a moment, but Foster's going to fight him for it. Foster down onto the bottom, very difficult, and is very rough on that right front tire, but he's holding out. Most of the times you see these guys driving in the new cars down toward the yellow line. We're getting up nice and close to the wall. You need that turn entry. Beautiful turn there. Bob Berry makes the best of it there. Gets from 4th to 2nd. Splits the 2 behind him. Cody Welch and Kevin Foster will now be next to each other, and Welch now up. All 3 Chevrolets in the top 3. Moving on with 2 Buicks after that, Paul Wilson and Kevin Foster. Benjamin Lacey's Pontiac is coming into play. At number 7 is looking for 5th here. Getting a little block out there and trying to see how it is going. Right now, Budget Off-Road out there saying good to see the young guns up front. Yes. Yes, a bunch of them getting up front. They're doing a fantastic job here tonight, really working together. Right now, Mark Allen Bivens waiting to see where Jackson Knock is. Knock is down here in 8th. Knock is still working with that OxyClean machine. Boy, he gets that left front fender in the back. And around goes Lacey. Gotta admit, so far here tonight, wreck avoidance has been spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. That could have been 10 times worse. A little spin around there by Benjamin Lacey. He's going to be playing catch-up here. Has to get a little more work done to the number 7 Pontiac here. Now, it did look like Jackson Knock nudged the inside with his left front fender on the back, on the right rear of somebody's quarter panel. Once that started, that's where it kind of all came apart. And we'll get another look at it here in just a moment. Knock may be fighting this one. We'll keep you apprised of what is coming up here. Let's take a look. All right, here is Knock. Right now he's right behind Sean Britt. But actually, Knock had absolutely nothing to do with it. I apologize. Right there, it looks like Lacey gets into the wall, ricochets down. And around goes Lacey. All right, let's give it another look. I thought Knock might have pushed him there, but he did not. 7 gets a heck of a run, gets up into the marbles, comes back down and contacts Knock. But, I mean, look at the contact here, and then nobody else hits him. I mean, you couldn't ask for better other than no caution at all. But fantastic job. That caution brought to you by LAT Racing Oils as we are coming down for pit road. Pit stops underway. And we'll talk about the blistering times they do down there. Mark Allen Bivens getting about an 11-second pit stop there. He's working his way out. Check down for no tires. A couple of guys looking to skirt their way back out there. Waiting to see if anybody else is making any sort of changes. Right now, Benjamin Lacey, I guarantee you, did not want to have to use his fast repair here tonight. Right now, Benjamin Lacey's still looking at about 54 seconds in the box. The only person joining him down pit road is Douglas Ross at the moment. We are still holding on to Lacey, hoping he's going to get going. Jason Greenwell sits behind him, though, revisiting pit road here tonight. Again. Back out he goes. Here comes, here comes Greenwell. All right, now race control has a lot of work here to do. Shouldn't be any trouble out there on the track, seeing how that is going to kind of boil down. It wasn't a cause caution by himself, so he's going to go to the back here of the field. Right now, let's check and see if a couple of guys are out there on the track. Looking to see if they'll trying to see if Jackson Knock is out there. See, he might be able to get a hold of him here. These car lights are out. And we are keeping an eye out for Jackson Knock. Where is he? Right now he should be down there. Currently he's hanging out with 5 Points Motorsports. All right, let's take a quick look here and talk to him up here in the booth. Let's see if I got him. Jackson Knock, do you have a copy out there?
Yes, I do.
All righty, man. What a race here so far. I do want to apologize, and I said something on the broadcast here. I thought you might have made contact out there with Benjamin Lacey. Talk to me about that situation when it came around you.
Well, I saw him getting into the wall, and then I let off. But middle of the corner, letting off kind of almost straightens you out more than it lets you turn. And he came off the wall and was just right on my my front right fender, and around he went. When he started to get on my front bumper, I won't lie, I did continue just going forwards, because I knew that if I slowed down, he would have stayed right in front of me, and then we would have both gotten taken out. So I did what I had to. So sucks for him, but it was going to be bad no matter what.
Yeah, well, you do have to push him and try to push him out of the way to help avoid it getting worse, rather than slowing down and then actually pushing him there to the side. Jackson Knock, good luck to you, buddy. Pace car's off the wall.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, everybody, that is Jackson Knock there. As we bring him in during our caution, Bob Berry retains back up front, back into the lead. Oddly enough, this man right here has yet to pit. Everybody else has come down pit road here so far as we are back under green. His tires will be definitely warmed up and settled into this track. Everybody else going to have to wait just a little bit longer to see if a couple of tires are going to heat up. As they get back underway here, right now, he got a gaggle of cars here in the back. Right now, John Osborne just trying to survive, currently sitting in that 12th spot. Bob Berry up there fighting with Kevin Foster. Foster now grabs a hold of the lead. Battle for the lead still rages on here. As we continue up to the front, Foster's going to have a good leg out front. And following right close behind him is Sean Britt. Britt out there in the number 5 Chevrolet. He did miss the very end of the playoffs last season, which was rather unfortunate. A heck of a lot of work out there to do. We're going to see if there's somebody else making contact with the wall. I think that might have been the 72 out there of Mason Flagar hit the wall. And he is unfortunately dropped down now to 12th and still rolling backwards as Brett Guzik slides underneath and keeps going. Yeah, right now something might be wrong here with Mason Flagar's car. He's up into the marbles and he is having a heck of a time. That thing is all over the track right now. Robert Duvall would say, get back into the groove. Right now, he's fighting that car all over the place. Hopefully, it looks like he's finally settled that thing down about 15th. He'll be settling right down in front of Bill Harkins and his Buick. Let's get back up front here where we're taking a look at Jackson Knock. Close to that last caution. All Chevrolets here in the top 5 except for Kevin Foster's number 8 Buick up front. Is continuing the charge. Right now, Foster spending the most time up front leading this race. Only 19 laps into this one. Dawson Guzik out there saying season opener, let's go. Yes. Yes, season opener. I got to admit, this is exciting. Seeing how this is going. Benjamin Lacey finally getting repaired there. 3 minutes and 15 seconds down there in the box. He's setting 25th, 2 laps down. Great job here so far as everybody started double wide. They're not going old school rules where guys laps down will be on the inside. And speaking of the inside, look who's shooting out the outside. Right on the edge, on the cutting edge there. Up to the front is going to be the 82 of Paul Wilson. Used to seeing him in a black and gold car, but you can't miss that black and red now. Dawson Guzik looking to be returning back to the race here. At least to the racing surface, as next week we head, well, we don't get out of this car. We stay in this one. They're going to stay in this car and move on to the next race. But first, let's see this one, as these guys are doing some sketchy moves here yet again, I would say right now. Some of these guys' spotters almost seem cross-eyed out there. They can't see a thing. Guys are making contact with other drivers, knock up into the wall. Let's see if he can make the best of this as he's trying to merge back down. Cody Welch giving him room. Great job there by Cody Welch. Number 85 machine still rolling through. He's sitting currently 6th out there. Not bad, digging a little bit deeper here into the top 10. Foster and Mark Allen Bivens are going to continue doing battle up here. Looks like Bivens is going to fall down to second. Paul Wilson going to follow right behind his teammate here. Great job so far. Oh, Mark Allen Bivens gets rearranged as Paul Wilson goes up there and tries to merge cars. Did not work. But this is normally where, I gotta admit, Paul Wilson starts making some mistakes here. Once there's one little fumble here, then he starts trying to make sure he's out of the way, and then he starts hitting everybody else. All right. Jay out there enjoying the race. He could have joined here and raced, but I think they may have to work him into the league. He was hoping to get out there on the track, especially with some new equipment. He's not the only one to get some new equipment. Another place that you can get new equipment, guys. Have you been to Apex Racing yet? So we'll see. There's some contact. Number 25 out there, Douglas Ross, starting to really push it here. Into the wall. Man. As soon as these guys start getting a good run, everything kind of comes apart there at the seams. So Douglas Ross falls back down. Even Dawson Guzik saying out there the car gets tight on exit if you're into the throttle too early. Yeah. Normally you would think letting off the gas would help you turn at a track like this, but you actually want to start accelerating into the turn. Well, they are still rolling. Right now I'm looking at a couple of guys out there, the GFR Racing team, that are doing right now huge moves. Benjamin Lacey unfortunately getting the worst of it, but I've got to say a huge chunk of cars from the GFR Racing team are up front. Nick Nickerson and Kevin Foster are sitting 1 and 2 out there. Not bad. We saw Paul Wilson sitting right behind him. He's currently sitting in 10th. And this is great here so far. Ricky Hart down in the 13th. He's looking to battle his way back up. Sean Britt sitting 4th. And Cody Welch 5th. So I see even Kelly Queel out there saying first and second cars. Holy cow, are you kidding me? How about 1, 2, 4, 5, and I believe 11th right now. 11th and 13th. And these guys are really clumping together and doing a great job out here. A couple of guys out there still looking for a solid home for the team. I don't have a definitive number on amount of teammates they are allowed to have. And oh my gosh, number 500, a Nick Kaufman goes airborne here. And a huge wreck. Third caution here of the night. I believe Brett Guzik was also involved. He had to tow. Nick Kaufman banged up. Looks like Mark Allen Bivens might be banged up. What a wreck there. All right, let's take a look from Mark Allen Bivens' perspective and kind of see what happened in front of him here. See Guzik getting loose up there. Oh, man. That was almost a double whammy there. There's more than one incident. Take another look here. See if we can get a little bit closer. Right now, yeah, I see Brett Guzik there. He's just onto the apron. Left side snags. And Mark Allen Bivens looks like he starts pushing the 500 here. right there. Yeah, when it flattens out, it's almost like the wind catches him when he's out from behind him. Guzik gets nailed 500 up into the air. Bob Berry gets the worst of it there. Look at the 85. Boy, got a horseshoe on that one. Cody Welch able to stop. Great job, though. Great job. LAT Racing Oils definitely earning their keep here tonight. As they keep another one. All right. Checking in on a couple of our drivers. The 84 of David Lakey out there. Hey. No hat here tonight. Cue ball in it. David Lakey currently sitting in 13th. See how David Lakey is able to continue his charge up to the front. Hi, David. There he goes. He's waving at everybody. All right. I guarantee he won't do that during race time. He won't. There's no way. Fortunately, he's under caution, getting caught back up to the pace car here after the lap 27 pit. He'll be working his way back up to the front, looking to see where Bill Harkins is, and oddly enough, that's why I'm confused. Bill Harkins is actually sitting up here in that number 1 spot. Now, we've seen Harkins actually fall off here a little bit and get to the back of the field. This time, I don't know if he wants to do that. He might want to hang out front. So Bill Harkins starting to talk with his team out there, thinking about a few different things he might want to try. He'll have Nick Nickerson, Kevin Foster, Sean Britt sitting behind him there from the GFR team. So this is going to be huge. I think Kevin Foster in the Ultimate Towing Machine is going to look to see if he can push Bill Harkins out front and at least get a solid restart here. Guys, we talk a little bit about Geezer Authentics. Each one of the purchases that you make, whether it be a mug, a banner, a shirt, a hat, and that is also the new logo that they're putting out there on the shirts, is what you see Bill Harkins wearing currently. There you go. Yeah, look at that. I gotta get one of those. I gotta get one of those. It's time. It's time. Alrighty, Bill, good luck to you out there, man. Hopefully we can see you lead some laps here, kind of uncontested. Think you'd like to enjoy some time up there in the front, and hopefully we'll see how he does out there, as he is out there. See, he is out there representing all the drivers and all the sponsors out there. That's very slick out there in the black and green car. Budget out there saying he likes that logo. Yep. That's what we're all thinking. I think we're all thinking Kevin Foster's going to give a push here. But we'll see how he does. There you go. Back in the old Dale Earnhardt helmets. Here we go. Riding along with Kevin Foster here. Green flag is out. Harkins getting a great start here. Out and away. Harkins decides not to keep leading. From first all the way to the back. I guess he hasn't been in any trouble yet. So he wants to keep that streak going. Let's get back up to the front. Nickerson leading this one. Eddie Haggy finally coming alive. Haggy hanging back just a little bit as we sit looking from the drone footage. That's a fancy logo you got there on the quarter panel, mister. All right, look how bumpy that track is. Look how the suspension is bouncing on him. Right there. And that's just something they've got to compete with out there, as well as it bouncing around, being in the draft, doing 200 miles an hour. And if you don't believe me, here you go. That's Eddie Haggy's speed currently, 213 miles an hour. So Eddie Hagge definitely flying around this track. He goes from just barely to the lead, drops down to 4th. That gives him 16 on the night. Everybody in the top 5 has gained at least one position here tonight. Paul Wilson gaining 13, who's currently in the lead. Nick Nickerson up 17, currently sitting 2nd. Sean Britt sitting 3rd, up 9. Hagge up 16, sitting 4th. And Kevin Foster gaining 1 position as he started 6th here in this race. Great job here so far. Do take into account the way this car needs to be driven. Dawson out there going ahead and letting us know it needed to be heel-toe shifted, I would say so. Oof. Little bump there from Kevin Foster, goes down there and touches that apron. I want to start being a little more careful as he's having a little bit of wiggling problems out there. 23-second pit stop times for everybody out there down on the track. Cody Welch actually had a longer pit stop time, about 1:10. And Mark Allen Bibbins, who was in some trouble, he's down in 14th as he was 1.5 minutes. We keep churning here up to the front. Let's see how this is going. Guzik down 2 laps. Lacey needs one more caution. He'll be back on the lead. And I believe Douglas Ross may have turned it in here for the night. I think he had a disconnect. Had a little trouble out there. I don't know if something happened or if he's going on. Right now I don't even see him out there in the Discord or out here in the chat. There's Douglas. Dude, as soon as I say that, he says a volunteer firefighter had to respond to a call. Bummer. All right, Douglas. Well, we'll hopefully see you back out there in the 25 Chevrolet in no time at all. Great job, brother. Do your thing. Jackson Knock here to the outside of Cody Welch. Right now, this is fantastic driving here so far as we get back shotgun here with Jackson Knock. Yeah, he's able to reel him in, gets a little bit of draft help. Foster almost comes up and clips him, but Foster thinks best not to keep rolling up. Hagge down on the bottom. He's following behind Sean Britt. And this is excellent work here by Jackson Knock. He's really working this one. Watch how he wants to separate. He's going to choose Hagge. Gets behind Hagge. Now they're going to start working this out the inside line. Continuing to turn. There's a little bump. And that'll throw Hagge into turn 3. And he is desperately trying to hold on to the bottom there. You see Knock trying not to apply too much steering and let the car ride up the track. Knock now into 3rd, now into 2nd. Keeping the roll here, and this is exactly how you want to do it. Knock is definitely driving the wheels off that thing as we rode with him to gain 4 positions here on lap number 35. Great job out here. 3 cautions caused tonight here. The Geezer Authentics 113 season opener of the season 13. Look to see who we will crown champion next. We'll see how this goes. Hagge leading some laps now out front. We've had a bunch of lead changes here so far tonight. A couple of guys are starting to mess around. Let's check back in on Sean Britt as Britt's now here to the inside. And it looks like to the inside of Brandon Jackson. Ethan Sikorsky marching out of line there for just a little bit as the 94 Chevrolet drops down. Mostly Chevrolets are the choice here. Yeah, not bad out here on the track as we rotate way back. We check back in on Paul Wilson. Wilson off by about 4.5 seconds here. And beyond that, it looks like Bill Harkins drops down to the 21st position. This leaves him all by himself. Nick Kaufman down here 22nd. Benjamin Lacey's praying to get back on the lead lap. All right, continuing this churn up to the front. Let's check in on Jackson Knock. Knock on the outside. Trying to squeeze it there. Man, he's running out of room. 2.5 miles getting burned away at 45 seconds a lap. That ain't bad at all. Definitely faster than some of the next gens we see running out here as they run about 48 seconds. They have slowed the cars down. Knock is going to settle back down into 6th as he gets marked out. Kevin Foster now running down Eddie Hagge. So ultimate towing down there, and Katy, Texas getting pretty happy about this, seeing that their car is in the top 3 most of the night here. Ricky Hart has almost come from the entire rear of the field up to the front. That is who is sitting currently 3rd. Ricky Hart has gained 22 positions here on the night. Not bad for only 25 out there on the track. To the outside goes Ricky Hart. A couple of guys are not churning some. Whoa, Hagge gets into Foster. 3 wide coming across the dog leg. Shooting out comes Ricky Hart. Like a watermelon seed. Out he goes. Not bad. Mark Allen Bivens now starting to capitalize as he's on the outside of Kevin Foster now. 39 laps complete here in this bout as they continue rolling on through here at Daytona. As they keep doing a great job out here on the track. Fantastic work we've been seeing out of all these drivers here tonight. Yep, 40 laps complete here at Daytona International Speedway, and we'll be right back after a quick break and return back to the Great American Race.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rig. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
5 laps complete here at Daytona International Speedway. Appreciate you guys rejoining us back here after that quick commercial break, and a shout out from our sponsors out there. Do want to give a quick little poke out there and shout out the FMR Performance Gang and Apex Sim Racing. They are another one that actually give the proceeds as well to the Bandit Racing League, and they are, of course, taking every bit of that and putting it right back into the league. Nothing goes to waste here. That way guys get prizes and things like that when they come here to race, and also help fund the league for the races themselves and the broadcast. As we continue this roll here, we are cut away. Cody Welch has now taken over the lead. You see how he touched down on the apron. Left front tire snagged, and ended up swinging him up in front of Mark Allen Bivens. That's going to give Nick Nickerson just a little bit of a chance down here on the bottom to see if he can make a quick pass to regain that lead. Right now, Welch, Nickerson, and Bivens, 1, 2, and 3. Jackson Knock looking just outside podium positions here as he sits in 4th. Right now to see if anybody else is going to make any kind of a play here, already looking back. I'm waiting to see how Brandon Jackson's going to do in the 99 Ford. Currently sitting 9th here. He's been actually moving on the way up out there in the Haviland machine. Keeps churning his way up to the front. Cody Welch has been playing in and out of having the lead here. Mark Allen Bivens has been working on the outside and is staying pretty true to that line. Hasn't really deflected off of that, as he still remains on the outside, getting on top of Jackson Knox's car. He's running out of room. As the number 2 and Nick Nickerson with the GFR team trying to squeeze him up toward the top. Knox decides to rotate down toward the bottom. Little blink there by the 76. They still continue to keep battling up here in the front. Nobody settling down, just knocking laps down. They are still battling like we got 10 to go. Take a look back off of Jackson Knox's machine as he currently sits 3rd. There goes Bivens rotating back. Ooh, turn exit speed. And now Haggy has to tuck in behind Mark Allen Bivens. Wait to see Bob Berry. There he is in the Tide machine. He's now starting to show into the picture. Bob Berry was up in the front with the pole position here tonight. Got in some trouble earlier in the race. And has been fighting to get back in it since. So Barry almost back into the top 5. Eddie Hagger will be next on his list. And they've got a solid breakaway, though. There's about half a second behind Bob Barry's where we find Sean Britt. So our front 6 cars have about broken away from the second chunk here. That is Sean Britt, Ricky Hart, Brandon Jackson, Ethan Sikorsky, and Kevin Foster, who's fallen all the way down to 11th. John Osborne remains in 12th. David Lakey still 13th here. I think they're just kind of letting this race come to them. I would say probably around lap 95 is when we're going to see guys coming back down in the pit. Or excuse me, lap 95, everybody's going to be kicking it. And then after that, we'll see pit stops start heating up again. Last time most of these guys pit was back on lap 27. About lap 55, 58 is when we should see him revisiting back down pit road here. Mama Goose saying about time for a caution. And gonna need a few to get Brett Guzik back on the lead lap. Unfortunately, this drops Benjamin Lacey off pace here. Lacey now down 2 laps. Harkins will be our lucky dog around, unless Kaufman gets lapped here, and Kaufman's in danger. Right now, there's Kaufman heading into turn 1, and you see the leaders coming right in behind him here. Right now, very, very quick, as unfortunately Kaufman does look like he's going to be the next victim to go a lap down. Oof. Contact with the wall there in the back. Who in the world was that? Couldn't tell that if that was... Didn't look like Mason Flagar. Somebody smashed off the wall back there and had to come back on the track. That didn't look good. He's going to pay for that later on. Cody Welch still up here trying to fight for the lead. As he currently sits in second, now up to first, and they are still battling for it. Side by side for at least the front 2 rows. Haggie's the only one before they get back to Ricky Hart and Sean Britt. He's the only one with a little bit of wiggle room so he can rotate up the track if he needs to. As they still continue to keep this clump nice and close together. So far from our leader of Nick Nickerson, our top 10 are within a second of each other. All right, down pit road comes Nick Kaufman. The woes still continue out there for the 500 car. Keep churning this one away, step by step by step as they keep going. Right now, Jackson Knock looking for the rest of his teammates. The only one close will be Eddie Haggie. Brett Guzik, unfortunately, is down a bunch of laps. Carter Phillips has been in some trouble here tonight. Carter Phillips currently is sitting 19th. Jason Greenwell is actually sitting 15th. So it's right now it's Knock and Haggie out there. In the top out there for the 5 Points Motorsports. Take a look back. There's Haggie peeling off to the side here. He's going to try to put the pressure back on Cody Welch again. Falling off the pace here just a bit. Mark Allen Bivens 3 wide heading into 3. Outside line for Ricky Hart. Brandon Jackson on the bottom. And Eddie Haggie about to get squeezed in the middle. Hart snugs in behind him. Stops those guys from getting in danger. Yeah, Ricky Hart thinking the best to just go ahead and back out of it there. Still continue on up to the front. Big Red Propane pretty happy as a bunch of their drivers have been up front most of the night, Nick Nickerson being one of them. Waiting to see if Kevin Foster is able to return. David Lakey just overtook him a little bit ago. As Lakey moves now up to 12th, Foster to 13th. Driver who's actually marching backwards is Brandon Jackson right now. Unfortunately, cannot seem to get that roll backwards and get that forward momentum going again. There we go. Right now, Brandon Jackson getting a good sweep down toward the bottom there as they dive into 1. Get a good view of all of our guys out there on the track. Look at that stack up right here on the backstretch. That's going to be close. Right now, seeing if they got anything for him. Right now, outside line still belongs to Brandon Jackson. Haggie's on the bottom, Knock right behind him. Mark Allen Bivens going to be trying to work his way up to the front. And now I'm not seeing Mark Allen Bivens out there with his team. Seems he's actually rotated off. Normally you see Bivens out here with the Young Guns Motorsports guys. I only see Flagar and Nolan Gross working together. Pit road starting to heat up a little bit here. Mark Allen Bivens, Flagar, Welch, Britt, Gibson, and Sikorsky down. Do want to say our leader, Nick Nickerson, Ricky Hart, and Carter Phillips had come on down as well. Look like pit stops are underway for these guys. Tires are being taken. Somebody out there, budget out there, is saying this might be a Cody and Nick season again. We'll definitely see. But Cody Welch was actually missing most of last season, if not all of it. Nick Nickerson actually took the championship last season. Definitely in a commanding way. Knock was close. I think his time is due. He definitely wants to make sure he's in the playoffs again. All right, and that is actually Jackson Knock working his way off pit road now. Only driver yet to pit out there is Curtis Yancey in the number 51 Pontiac. He is still continuing out there. Yancey actually ended up in trouble back on lap number 4 of this race. Where the 51 machine was pretty much maimed out there. Yancey did come in on lap 28, so he'll have a little extra time. He is heading down pit road now. Nick Nickerson sitting about 44.5 seconds off that pace. He'll be catching him pretty quick here. But Yancey already in the pit box, not bad. As they are only coming down the backstretch, Yancey might have a chance to actually get a decent pit stop here. 14 seconds in the box, still shaving it down. Waiting to see. 22 seconds. Yancey's working his way out now. Take a look at the track, at the position. Number 1 is our guy out of pit. That's Nickerson on the top. So Nickerson overtaking the lead here, and boy, oh boy, did he get a separation from the rest of the field. He actually had a stellar time down in this pit box, 20.9 seconds. Ricky Hart had a 21.65. That's what causes all these guys to be so far back here. Jackson Knock hitting 43.03. That's the fastest time out here on the track so far tonight. And we have already broken over our halfway point here of this race. Right now you guys are tuned in to Simtrax Broadcasting. And we are here with the Bandit Racing League on a fine Wednesday night to kick off the Season 13 opener here at Daytona. The Geezer Authentics 113. Appreciate all you guys joining us out there in the chat. I know we're getting a little bit of drive angle out there from Dawson Guzik. Mama Goose and Budget out there are calling it out there, and Kelly Queel actually rooting on the number 8 of Kevin Foster, who's returned back to the 7th position. He was rotating back there for a little ways. So it looks like Kevin has finally been able to slow that down. Only one Ford here in the top 10, 2 Buicks out front. With Nickerson and Hart, Kevin Foster would be the 3rd. And other than that, it's Chevrolets. We don't find a Pontiac till we're all the way back down there in 12th. And that's Curtis Yancey's. Only other driver to drive a Pontiac here tonight would be Benjamin Lacey. Lacey is currently sitting 24th. I hate seeing that because that drops him down. He had a heck of a race. He was super fast out there tonight. And just one little problem, one stumble, and bad things started happening. David Lakey currently sitting 11th. See how he's doing out here. Lakey would like to get back up to that front pack. Right now he's about 6 seconds off before he can find those guys. 4 seconds beyond them. It starts with Mason Flagar in the front. This would be what I would assume would be the reason for stages nowadays, is to try to clump these guys back together. But it just goes to show you how pit strategy pays off here. You gotta say, at least Benjamin Lacey's getting a little bit of time up here toward the front, or at least playing with the leaders there. It's him currently sitting in that 24th spot, but he's sitting currently behind Kevin Foster, who's 6th. Mark Allen Bivens up toward the wall there. Knock is trying to see if he can triangulate that turn on the outside of Hagee. He's got it here for just a moment. Nickerson out still by 2.5 seconds. If everybody worked together, they'd catch him here. I think they're still working on it. Choices of cars for this season are the 87s, the Xfinities, and then the next-gen cars. Right now, everybody's enjoying these 87s. It is so crazy to control. As Jackson Knock dives into turn number 3 at over 200 miles an hour. Knock has Lacey work on around him there. No can do. Looks like a little push there from Cody Welch, pushing Eddie Hagee up to the front. Seems Cody Welch seems to be a fan favorite out here as well. Definitely a tough driver, I can tell, just by the way he drives. Definitely knows his presence out there on the track. Boy. Now Mark Allen Bivens slinging off the track there. Looks like he got way loose. That's going to cost him. That drops him down to 7th, and looks like he's able to stop it there. Now, Jackson Knock could use a little bit of help. He did start in 2nd here tonight. He would love to get up there to Nick Nickerson, but he is having a heck of a time, just unable to catch up or come up with any sort of any extra ground here, as now they were to about that 2-second mark, and now Nick Nickerson is actually starting to gain more and more distance away from these guys. It looks like the woes continue for this second pack here of not working together and battling amongst themselves before our leader goes out there and does it again. Now, Nick Nickerson could come down on about lap 80, 85. Do the same pit stop and possibly double or if not triple his time out there. Well, somebody may need to short pit, so right now their biggest concern out there is catching one another. And it just keeps getting farther and farther back. And I'm hoping Kevin Foster may be that bond everybody's looking for out there. They're going to start working together and getting back up to the front. So if you have Knock, Welch, Foster, Britt, and Ricky Hart, these are the guys that you want in your corner out there. So hopefully they'll start working together, even though they're not all on the same team. And somebody's got to take down Nick Nickerson. But we'll ask out there in the chat. All right, Kelly, here's one for you. Do you think Kevin Foster would work with these guys to help run down his own teammate? That'll be a little bit of a big questionnaire there. I want to know, would Foster want to catch up there so he'd be able to battle for the lead himself? Or is he going to let Nick Nickerson just keep doing his thing out there, staying out front? Right now, Nickerson does seem to be getting slowed up a bit here, as he is now working around the 30 car of Carter Phillips, who just goes down a lap. So sitting in the lucky dog spot sits the 30 Chevrolet. Kelly out there is saying sure. All right, so sure that Kevin would fight to get up to his own teammate. I wasn't sure if he was thinking team strategy. and might just have Nick Nickerson take this win here. If I am not mistaken, looking at the rules here, this is not going to be a win-and-in situation season. It is all going to be based off of points this year. And that is going to trip a lot of people up. Especially for one guy who's not going to be fazed by it at all is going to be John Osborne. He's the one who made it into the playoffs via points anyway. So if he can just keep his consistency, I think it's going to be a hard run for him, seeing that we're changing almost 3 different eras of a car. Not just, the Xfinity and the trucks and floating around with those vehicles. We've eliminated the trucks, kept the Xfinities, and now we go from the 87s to the 2000s to the 2020s. And that is going to be the separation of cars for these guys. So a 40-year separation of getting out of the next gen and back into the 87s. I'm sure we're going to see a bunch of cautions when we get to that point. 70 laps complete here. 71 once we cross the line. With Nick Nickerson still in the lead here. Knock is almost within reaching distance of him, as he is breaking under 3/4 of a second here to get lap number 72 started. Cody Welch working well out there. He has moved up to 3rd. Ricky Hart sits 4th. Kevin Foster still hanging on to 5th. Mark Allen Bivens putts around behind him there. Number 7 of Benjamin Lacey, who's unfortunately a few laps down here, is still in the mix with these guys. He may be trying to help them join forces and get up to the front and using them as a draft partner. Knock finally catching up to our leader here. Only down by just over 1/4 of a second. The 00 OxyClean Chevrolet has caught our leader here. He's now starting to drive off from Ricky Hart, and that means he's got the draft. A great job here by Jackson Knock, noticing how this track is rubbering up and moving his way up to the front. Unfortunately, out there on the track, about another 10 laps, we're going to see fuel window open. Finally gets caught up to him here. They may be slinging down pit yet again, and they could actually redo this. Nickerson do a great job and get back out there. Nickerson and Hart pit at the same time. Knock took a little longer. Right now as they continue running this one here. Ricky Hart takes over. Gets into that 2nd spot. As Nickerson only started a few rows in front of Ricky Hart to start this race. Hart now up here looking for the lead. Side by side these two go. Hart onto the apron. Here he comes. Round Hart goes. And stay off the wall, stay off the wall, stay off the wall. Oof. No caution. What an excellent save there. A little nudge to the left rear. I'm sure Ricky Hart's not happy about it. Now would be a good time to pit. I think everybody else thinking the same thing. So Ricky Hart slinging off the track there. I guarantee you that did not go the way that he had hoped. Let's take another look at it. Oh, net code. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. Looks like Hart's down on the apron a little bit there. Hart's on around. That's all it takes. Not very forgiving. One little fumble here. We are still praying to get back at it. Hate seeing that for Ricky Hart, as many positions as he had gained here tonight. This drops him down to the 21st position. So Early pit stop for Mr. Hart. Nickerson and Welch back out front, sitting 1 and 2. His budget out there is saying this might be the two of them going at it for another season. Cody Welch looks like he's going to need a sponsor on the hood of that car, though. As he is chasing down the big red propane machine of Nick Nickerson. Right now, that takes a lot of concentration. Even riding down the front and the back stretch here. As Cody Welch is up there nudging the edge of 208 miles an hour. Diving into turn number 3. Very, very difficult. A lot of guys been trying their luck out there to see if they can get any more or pick up any difference amongst each other to fight their way up to the front. Nickerson, Welch, Knock. 1, 2, and 3. Mark Allen Bivens sits 4th. Sean Britt is 5th. Ethan Sikorsky sits in 6th. Kevin Foster is 7th. Looks like the number 30 slung off the track there of Carter Phillips. John Osborne, about half a light year off here. He's looking, trying to catch back up. 8 seconds off pace. David Lakey sits 9th. Curtis Yancey, not bad. 51 machine returning back. That's why you don't quit. Yancey up to 10th. Lap 79 is underway. No changes here so far. I think everybody finally calmed down a little bit and realized that we need to start marching some of these laps off. Last caution that we had was back on lap 26. I'm not trying to dupe it here, but figure it'd be a nice little piece of information there that we have gone a decent stretch here. Also got a green flag pit stop. And we're back out and we're looking at possibly our second pit stop coming soon. Right now, lap number 56 is the last time they came down. Some 57, some 58. Caution. Boy, just as I did. Great. Ricky Hart involved again in almost the identical spot we saw him spinning out last time. Oh, man. Shouldn't have said anything. Nah, I done it. Alrighty. 4th caution here of the night. This one will be brought to you by LAT Racing Oils for our caution replay here. We'll take a look back and see what happens with Ricky Hart to cause our caution. I'm hoping this just isn't single here. Oh. That's what caused the caution there. Too close to a car. There's some problems. Now notice how the left rear of that car still got the dent in it. And I'm wondering if that's what's costing him some of that downforce that he desperately needs to get around this track. So I'm sure we'll see Ricky Hart come down and revisit down into pit road. Try to knock out some of those dents. Alrighty, everybody stacking up behind the pace car. We should start seeing pit road heat up. I don't think anybody wants to be left out on this one. Brett Guzik is going to be one that's hurting, though. Last time he came down was 55. He actually came in earlier than a couple of the other guys. Nolan Gross came in on 54. And I think Nick Kaufman in the 500 might get the lucky dog around, though. Yep, there they go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we got guys, woof, almost missed the pit box there for Nickerson. All right, Budget Off-Road. Appreciate you staying up with us here tonight. I know it's about 10:30 here Eastern Standard Time. We're just on this side of the line. Appreciate you hanging in there. You can join us back on the broadcast. If you can't find it, you'll be able to definitely find it out there on simtracksbroadcasting.com. That's all of our old races as well. There should be a new playlist out there for the Bandit Racing League season number 13. As we get caught back up to the pace car, we're going to cut away back to our shout out from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rink. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that Full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly, Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
Fourth caution of the night, wrapping up here at Daytona International Speedway here with the Bandit Racing League. Ricky Hart ended up getting in a self-spin out there back on lap 77, and he's been battling back ever since, trying to get back onto his groove. Led about a lap or so up front, unable to regain, and now he is going to be in the back here of this pack, unfortunately down to 23rd now as we continue up toward the front. Last set of pit stops has just occurred back on lap 81, 82 for a couple of others like David Lakey, Kevin Foster, Curtis Yancey, Bob Berry to try to offset pit, get one extra lap out there here of the 113 laps we're going to be running. And they are going to be starting still inside the top 10. Let's go ahead and get this back under green and get the Great American Race back underway. Nick Nickerson and Cody Welch out front. Sean Britt finally breaking into the top three. Looks like the number 5 Chevrolet finally getting a chance up front here. Right now, Mark Allen Bivens and Mason Flagar, I guarantee you they are in a tight spot as we get on top of Mason Flagar's machine, one of our playoff drivers from last season. As the 72 Chevrolet is noticing he is running out of room. Already wiggling, heading down the backstretch here as he's definitely battling that car all over the track. Doesn't want to nail one of his young gun drivers out there. Mark Allen Bivens, who sits right in front of him. Not bad, though, as many drivers have an opportunity to shoot their way up to the front, but they are just trying to tick off a few more laps. I would say right about lap 100 is when you'd want to turn it on. Now, it's going to be pretty close, trying to have enough fuel to make it to the end. Now, seeing where he's got about 25 laps on fuel. That's going to make it pretty close. So these guys may be doing just a little extra, and Bob Berry, David Lake, and Kevin Foster might be laughing this one off as they came in exactly 1 lap later for a quick splash and go. They may be the ones that have just enough to make it. Currently in the lead is Cody Welch. He gets out in front of Nick Nickerson. I would say Nickerson might be doing a little fuel saving here, and him and Cody Welch are going to try to pull away from the field here. And one of them may take away the Geezer Authentics 113 here as Nickerson is into the wall. Nickerson sliding down. Here's the big one. Look out. Knock is on his roof. Nickerson's around up in front. Now Bob Berry's around. Catches another driver, still stacking him up. I think Nolan Gross made it, though. Jason Greenwell on his lid. Bob Berry's got a blown engine. Holy cow, what a wreck. This started from Nickerson getting into the wall. As you see, pieces still flying around out there. And Bob Berry. He's not the only one. Jackson Knock and Carter Phillips had already had to take it down to pit road and had to tow. Right now, I believe the front end of this car is even missing. For Bob Berry. This is brutal right here. That is slammed down on the side. Bob Berry comes to rest in his pit box. Cross our fingers and hope he still has a fast repair. I don't know if he does. I think he took it earlier. Alrighty. Well, this one starts with Nickerson. So we're going to try to find Nickerson out there as pit road is starting to get active yet again. Wonder if guys are starting to notice that this may be their chance. We were both, I was kind of up here thinking there may be an opportunity for some guys out there that may be switching it up a little bit, might have to think about fuel mileage, and then it all kind of went down the tubes from there. Nick Nickerson with a boatload of damage here. Getting LAT Racing Oils another chance here to be our Caution Replay sponsor here of the night. Let's take a look at Nickerson. Into the wall, and then it slides him from there. Right now, you know Jackson Knock was thinking he had that one clear. How in the world did the 30 get backwards? Carter Phillips was backwards heading into this wreck. Into Greenwell, Hart. There he goes. Oh, and uses Bob Berry as a ramp. Alrighty, RC's got a lot of work to do on this one. Hard hit. And a bunch of guys sliding around. Drivers involved end up going to Jackson Knock, Nick Nickerson, Nick Kaufman, David Lakey, Bob Berry, Jason Greenwell, Carter Phillips, Connor Gibson. Just to name a few, and that's ones that have dealt with critical damage. As we see Nickerson heading his way back down. I think Nickerson's going to see if he can straighten a few more of those panels out. Hats off to all our drivers who still remain out there on the track. No one has taken it back to the garage other than Douglas Ross, who ended up leaving for a fire call. And right now, I see out there Mailbox Media. I believe Mr. Knock is not happy about his chances here tonight. So Knock with a quick fast repair gets back out there. Unfortunately, I think this will put him a lap down, though. Drivers that had a lot of opportunities here tonight is being scrubbed away. Lap 87. Some of these other drivers came in. We're looking all the way down here at about 10th position. On back came down and pit yet again. The driver I'm waiting to kind of open it back up is going to be Bill Harkins. I'd like to see Harkins get back up there. Right now he's currently sitting in the 18th position. Still on the lead lap, though. Brett Guzik is our next lucky dog around. Yep, Bob Berry, he said, well, that hurt. Yeah. And Bob, I guess you used your fast repair earlier in the race because yours was the most damaged there. All right, let's get back underway. It looks like we are back under green as everybody else is still playing patsy fingers there in the back about where everybody's going to be starting. Definitely don't want to be doing that as they're now way off the pace here. And they're going to be chasing it back down. 24 laps left to go. 5 cautions here on the night. Cody Welch in the front. He's got David Lakey, Sean Britt, and Nick Kaufman around him, though. Kaufman into some trouble, though. He's been a couple of times. And hopefully he's able to boomerang back. He's been doing great here so far. Currently sitting in that number 500 car you see toward the top. Now the driver I'm taking a look out for is the Pontiac, of the number 51 Pontiac, that is, of Curtis Yancey. He's currently sitting 12th. I'd like to see him shoot his way up to the front. Jackson Knox saying worst possible time to get in a wreck. It looks like everybody's still A-OK. Nobody's in the infield car care center. It looks like everybody was able to survive that last caution. Boy, look at the guys slinging off the walls there. Jennifer Wonders saying, let's go, Cody Welch. That'd be something. Get engaged while he's gone. Get back onto the track and win his first race back out. That would definitely put a statement here to the rest of the league that he is back. Cody Welch has an opportunity here. David Lakey and Sean Britt splitting it up behind him. I'll be trying to work it, though. Taking a look back from Cody Welch's car. Weathermaster number 5 Chevrolet gets real close. Yeah, right now Welch is trying to make a block the best he can here. And I think he's going to get pinched. Not bad. Sean Britt slides and gets the lead here on lap 91. Good Lord, look at that. Look out. Sean Britt into the wall. And I guarantee you, this almost looks like this is redoing everything that got him last year. What in the world? So Sean Britt is racing up front. Contact is made. It gets him turned around. I do see a bit of puffing smoke here. And the number 51 of Curtis Yancey is a blown engine. almost at a loss for words here. The amount of drivers involved in this. This was a hurtful one. And Sean Britt ended up getting caught in this one. Nick Nickerson, Curtis Yancey, Connor Gibson, Paul Wilson, Mark Allen Bivens. Was trying to get Bivouac out there, but that didn't seem to work. Let's take a look. Top side here. Contact there with the wall. Gotta get a better look than that. Yeah, it looked like Britt may have gotten loose right before. I think this is what gets me right here. Oh, man, everybody clears. But as I say that, where's the 51 going? Back up the track. There he is. All right, let's see where the 51 goes. See where your favorite driver ended up in this one. Contact with Bivens there. Up. Knock gets the rear bumper taken off. How in the world here, guys? Right there, right where you see some of them dodging. Oof. Was that in the number 2? Of Nickerson sending it in there? That dude, Nickerson didn't even check up. He just held it down to the floor. Held it down to the floor. Show me again. Ugh. Yeah, I think he might have thought he was going to sling through that one. All right. All right. Excellent. Sean Britt still had his fast repair. He'll be back out there on the track here in no time. Quick tire change for him. And back out there. See how much slower this is? Man. Hats off out there to the Rainbow Warriors figuring out how to get these pit stops down pat. And everybody learned from that. Nick Nickerson out there saying all he was thinking about is getting in front of Brett for the lucky dog before the flag dropped. Unfortunately, unable to do so, as I believe Brett Guzik does get back onto the lead lap, though. Holy cow. Well, that is 6 cautions here on the night. And we're starting to get a slew of them now. Guys starting to push it a little harder than we expected. Let's check back up front as Eddie Haggie's working around there with Ethan Sikorsky. Let's see. I believe... Not sure. I think Cody Welch has taken us to the green flag, but I think Nick Kaufman was able to get out in front of him while Brett slid to the side. Double stacking already. Get back out on the track. Sean Britt is all in one piece, but he's got a slew of cars in front of him now. He's going to have to figure out how to slide past them all. See if he can get his way back up to the front. John Osborne sitting 8th. He's looking to have a good night here so far. Osborne trying to stay out of it. Mason Flagar sitting 13th. He's got some work to do. Looks like Brett Guzik is now finally catching up, though. Good thing he pit back on lap 94. We do have some guys been out here since lap 87. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference tire-wise. Jason Greenwell hopefully knows where the brakes are. Starts catching up a little faster. Out there in the chat, you are getting real time of our guys out there making it happen. All right, let me take a quick look here. In the infield car care center, Matthew Crockett, is that you?
Yes, it is.
Dude, this race, talk to me about it here.
Just got home, so I'm just watching it for now.
Bro, what are you liking so far? Like, have you been tuned in this whole time?
Not the whole time. I've just been literally just got home from football practice with the kids, so I'm just watching it for right now. But
All right,
it's
man.
Looking pretty crazy, but have fun.
That it is. The 87s, that they are. All right, buddy, good luck. And hopefully we'll see Matthew Crockett back out there on the track eventually. As he is the driver of the number 15 out there on the track. So we'll see how he does out there and how he can hang on. As he is pushing around the track trying to find a little more room. And we are back, I guarantee, under caution here in just a moment, as that is Eddie Hagge. I have yet to take the camera off of him. Greenwell turns into a bulldozer. And we are back under caution. That didn't take long. I don't think we made it a single lap. Yeah, Ethan Sikorsky gets the worst of it here. I think he was the one flipping in the air as he heads down pit road. All right, let's see how Eddie Hagge did. I knew there was some trouble that started this. What in the world? How? That is Harkins that's in the air as well. Going over top of the 72 of Mason Flagar. All right, let's take a ride here with Ethan Sikorsky. You can almost hear it as it goes. It's almost like he's in the wrong gear. Like he's still in the fourth, and he's trying to accelerate, and there's nothing left. He couldn't get it going back straight again. So I don't know unless he was slipping and sliding. That was not going to happen. Oh, Jackson Knock. I was trying to figure out how Bill went over top of him backwards there. Eddie Hagge, though. This is brutal. It looked like Sikorsky drops it off the table there. Foster gets the brunt of the hit, but has to rotate up. And just beelines it right into him. All right, I guarantee you we'll see a bunch of cars being parked down pit road for the remainder of this race. As LAT Racing Oils is getting another shout out here for another caution here tonight. And there's 7 here on the night, 15 left to go. Mason Flagar, Bill Harkins looks like he's working his way out of pit now. And we'll see who is able to return. Cars are pretty tough. And they are trying to stay out of danger out here. Holy cow. All right, pace car lights are off. Mark Allen Bivens and Cody Welch are going to be going at it now. David Lakey still remains up here in the top 5 with Nolan Gross. And Ricky Hart returning back to the top 5. John Osborne will be to his outside. Sean Britt and Brett Guzik will make up row number 4. Nick Kaufman making up row number 5 with Kevin Foster. Now it's looking really good for the GFR team. They do say the 87s are the most accurate car out here. And they've even had drivers like Terry Labonte come out here, Rusty Wallace come out here. They had Mark Martin hop in the sim and had them even determine whether it felt like this. Did it do that? No, it didn't do that. And they would change it. And it would help also with the vehicles that they had out there, whether they had a Chevrolet, a Ford, a Buick, or any sorts like that with Pontiac. So, as they were able to change it, you're getting the most real life. These guys are feeling exactly what it should have felt like back in the day. And if Nick Nickerson is saying it's tough out there to stay concentrated because it's a workout, it'll burn you out. Trying to race these cars around, that's exactly what you're seeing here and now. Because I think everybody's starting to really tucker out here. If we can get this one green all the way to the end, I think it would be a heck of a feat. As it looks like Eddie Hagge might be dealing with some trouble there, as it looks like he's marching toward the back. That's a bit unfortunate. Pace car is off. Eddie Hagge currently sitting 14th back there. He's going to try to work his way back to the front. Mark Allen Bivens will be starting in second as Cody Welch gets a great takeoff here. Back out front. Yeah, Matthew Crockett out there saying it is late on that East Coast. Yes, it is. Currently about 11:03 here with 13 to go. Right now, these guys have been behind the wheel for over 2.5 hours here, and they are getting pretty smoked. And that is not counting all of the practice that they were here doing. Let's check out how this lead is going for in the front. Right now, Mark Allen Bivens would love to kick off his season here with a win. Right now, he's got one of the toughest drivers here on the outside, Cody Welch, who's been up here all night. And Bivens is doing a little seesawing here for a good chunk of the night. Waiting to see even drivers who had made some mistakes here in the race have been able to make it back into the top 10. Sean Britt being one of them. He's now up to 8th. Not bad. Brett Guzik in the 04. He's still getting up there. He continues to turn and burn here, trying to get a little extra. Brett Guzik now to 5th. He's definitely taking a look at David Lakey. And Cody Welch in front of him here as Kevin Foster has taken over the lead. 11 laps left to go. Still looking at over 25 miles left to run here at Daytona. Kevin Foster getting a breakaway. That's going to be closed down very quickly by Brett Guzik and Cody Welch. Not bad there, as it looks like Kevin Foster backs up the turn and get going. Right now, Kevin Foster trying to keep these guys off his rear bumper here as we hop on board. Brett Guzik taking a look to the outside. I think that Ford is going to get him. Ford to the outside. Brett Guzik is now leading the race. At the line. Yeah, baby, as he continues on. Right now, Buick, Ford, Chevrolet, 1, 2, and 3. As they still keep rolling through here. Oh, contact there in the back. as Nolan Gross that is around. No caution. Another driver caught up in that. I believe was Paul Wilson, who's trying to get back up to speed in a boatload of trouble. Let's check back in on Kevin Foster, who's our leader. Brett Guzik had the lead there for a moment, but you can't believe anything when you get turn through turn. And we are 3 wide sitting behind him. Kevin Foster, Nick Kaufman, Brett Guzik, and it looks like Kaufman able to squeeze out of there. And here's the big one. That's the one that's going to cause the caution. Brett Guzik involved. Guzik and Cody Welch. I figured that 3 wide was going to cause some trouble out there. And right now, hopefully Mama Goose doesn't take the remote and chuck it through the TV on that one. Guzik has been trying this entire time to get back up to the front. Right now, we're going to have to find out who caused what here. All right, there's Guzik outside. Sean Britt rotates up. And contact is made here. Does Brett come down? It looks like he might have ricocheted off the wall. Oh, Brett's off the wall. Oh, man. Well, when you have a couple of the toughest drivers out here going at it for the same spot, something's going to happen. Somebody's got to break. And that's what Dawson was talking out there in the chat a little bit, as he may have gotten tight coming out of that turn. And when it got tight, he rubbed the edge of the wall. Yeah, I was going to say, Dawson, even with the side of that door draft there, from the 85 machine being to the inside of him, might have even made it worse. Stalled it out there. Try to see if Kevin Foster is now going to come away with the win. So some of the guys are coming in and hanging out, getting their cars fixed up. Bill Harkins, Jason Greenwell, Connor Gibson, and Brett Guzik still working on them. I think we have a retiree of Paul Wilson has taken it back to the garage. Right now, Jackson Knox should slide up to 15th as Wilson now drops to 16th. And that is our first retiree here of the night. For Paul Wilson. You want to go back to the Curtis Yancey trouble back here. I ended up getting these two guys caught up again. Between him and Nolan Gross. This is what did not cause the caution. We thought we were going to see a caution out of these two. But it looked like Nolan Gross might have gotten into somebody here. Off the wall. Ricochet off the wall. Comes down, nicks Haggy. Jackson Knock straightens him out. And then around he goes. Yancey had nowhere to go. Bummer. All right, couple of guys shooting out. Brett Guzik, you see him squirting out of there really quick. As the pace car lights are off, he's got to have the hammer down because he's got to wrap all the way back around the track here. About 2 minutes a lap. He should have enough time to get caught back up. But he will not be the only one. Connor Gibson as well. Jason Greenwell trying to catch back up. And Bill Harkins is as well. So about another 35 seconds to catch him here. Boatload of damage still to the nose of that number 11. I gotta say, Bob Berry has been able to return. Got that car back together. All right. Nick Nickerson as well. He's still trying to get that damage fixed up. Boy, there's almost nothing left of that car, though. Trunk is gone. The front clip is gone. All right, pace car lights are out. We're going to cross our fingers here and hope this one goes green to the end. It's Kevin Foster, Nick Kaufman, Sean Britt, Mark Allen Bivens, David Lakey sitting in the top 5 here. They would love to have a chance and get this one back underway. Bunch of cautions here in the final 30 to 40 laps. And Kevin Foster. Kevin Foster, what a start. Out front he goes. 5 laps left to go. Guys getting tired. Guarantee you they're sweating in that rig. In sim time having some trouble. Looks like blinking out back there for Cody Welch. Welch to the inside having some connection issues. Now is not the time. So late into the race, up toward the front, but I guarantee you we'll see that 85 turn and burn here. He's going to be looking to return back. Let's see if he can do it. Sean Britt after the trouble. He had back on lap 97, and then on 92, has returned back to sit second. Ooh, man, look at this row. Everybody shifts back down to the yellow line. That's going to be tough for some turn entry. Foster makes the best of it. He rotates up about half track. That's going to give him a chance. He's going to break away from Sean Britt. As Britt remained on the bottom, that's going to pay for it there just a little bit. But this will give Britt a chance to try to hole shot him here. Reel him in and then sling around. Nick Kaufman waiting in the wings, though. 3 to go. The Geezer Authentics 113 is coming to a close. We're hoping all to go green flag to the end here. As you were tuned in to Simtrax Broadcasting, kicking it off here with the Season 13 opener here at the Bandit Racing League. Shuffling going on in the back. Kaufman has the lead. Foster losing it. Right now he needs help from Sean Britt to give him a shove here. And right now the GFR team trying to drum up something. Not bad, though. Foster, Welch, Britt, all with the GFR team. Britt loses some ground. He falls back. 3 wide. Look who's sending it up the center. Brett Guzik. Not even checking up. There he goes, up to 4th. Going to use Sean Britt there as his wall this turn and try to keep him off. Sean Britt into the wall. Yeah, there's going to be some words after that as you see Nick Kaufman all over the place. Kaufman trying to block Cody Welch as Welch is returning back now. Welch coming in hot as he now has the lead. Kaufman now sits second. Kevin Foster third. White flag this time by. Here we go, Cody Welch. Leading the Geezer Authentics 113 once again. Nick Kaufman sitting second, the number 500 Ford. Kevin Foster in the number 8 Buick Ultimate Towing Machine. Right now, John Osborne looking to see if he can throw his hat into the ring. Osborne working to the inside here of Kevin Foster, knocking him off of podium position. Foster might need to come up with something here, cross him over. Speaking of crossing over, Cody Welch down below. As Kaufman had the lead there for a blink of an eye. Now, Welch is going to have to rotate up. Kaufman into the wall. Kaufman hits onto John Osborne. Osborne trying to come back up the track. Brett Guzik is third. Welch wins the race. Nick Kaufman second. Brett Guzik made it in the third right at the end. Kevin Foster finishes fifth. Great job here by Brett Guzik. As we take a look over top. Contact with the wall, ricochet over. Guzik finishing the race, not bad. Boy, the seas just parted for him there. And hopefully we'll see Brett Guzik getting ready. Not bad at all. A lot of drivers had opportunities here tonight. Some were snuffed out. And comes back to iRacing. So you see Jennifer Wonders out there saying the same thing as Cody Welch returns back and gets the win here at Daytona. Excellent race here, guys. Excellent race. Let's see if we can go ahead and find out where all of our guys see. Yep, looks like that's going to be the official results. And here they are. Great job here so far. Alrighty. Per the usual, for all you newcomers here to Simtrax Broadcasting, we're going to cut away here for just a moment and try to reel in our top 3 drivers, starting with Brett Guzik, Nick Kaufman, and the Chevrolet of Cody Welch, who comes in clutch with the win, made the pass at the right time, and especially since he was involved in the wreck back on 105, was able to come back within 7 to 8 laps and win this thing. What an excellent job here by Cody Welch. And we'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
Hello there, Bandit Racing League fans. Former broadcaster Marshall Crocker Jr. here, part-time driver, the number 78 for 785 Racing. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about Geezer Authentics, your place for all things Bandit Racing League merchandise. Well, now let's say you want to go and buy a t-shirt for your reigning, defending Bandit Racing League champion, Eddie Hagge. You put it in black, you get it in an extra large, and you add it to your cart there for a reasonable price. You're going to move on, maybe look at some, shirts and sweaters, but maybe there's nothing that catches your eye this time, so you're going to move on to some wall wear. And you know me, I can't lie, I was a big Cody Welch fan back in my time broadcasting, so maybe you want to grab a 785 Cody Welch pennant to hang on your wall above your sim racing rink. You add it to your cart and you're going to move on. Maybe you're thinking some sort of accessory, maybe you're a big hat person like I am, you need something to wrap right on the brim, and there you go, Bandit Racing League hats in a variety of colors, but I personally like the combo of the camo and that full Send Racing Network orange. And you're going to move on now to some drinkware. You need something to drink your coffee out of in the morning. Why not grab a 785 Racing mug and support yours truly Marshall Crocker Jr. This has been Geezer Authentics. Check out the site. Lots of great options for Bandit Racing League fans.
LAT Racing Oils is invested in winning. With industry-leading at-track support, superior engineering, blending technology, and the World Championships to prove it, LAT is your premier choice for racing lubricants. Used by NHRA Pro Mod champions Jose Gonzalez and Chris Thorne, along with their closest competitors, LAT Racing Oil continues to carry top-level racers to the winner's circle in all categories of competition. From engine oil to transmission fluid and gear oil, LAT has you covered from end to end in your race car. A nationwide dealer network means easy access to our products as well. Visit LATRacingOils.com for more.
All right, everybody, we're catching up with our third place finisher, Brett Guzik. What a run here, especially right at the end, coming in clutch. I mean, and the C's parted right here at the end. Talk to me about this race and kind of overall from green flag all the way to the checkered.
Yeah, this was a seriously tough race, and a seriously tough race for me. I know, like, literally there in the whole middle section of the race, I didn't take tires for probably 60, 70 laps there, just trying to get my laps back. I got 2 laps back there. We sort of pulled the Bill Elliott style comeback there a bit, and then there at the end, we kind of got up in the wall last, say, what was it, 8 laps to go or so, and we got the EOL there, so they put us all the way at the tail end of the longest line, and we had a little bit of damage, but we had fresh tires, and that's all that really seemed to matter. And I was just trying to gut that thing out and, leg my way to the win. We just came up a little bit short, but can't say I didn't drive my butt off trying to get up there.
All right, scale of 1 to 10, how much you enjoying the car?
Oh, I love this car. This car is wild. It's out of control, and if I can get a hold of it, I can hopefully do good things with it.
All right, I always call it controlling the uncontrollable. We move on to Atlanta next week, and I don't mean the super speedway Atlanta. We throw it back to the nice old one that everybody likes, nice and wide, a lot of speed. How do you like it?
I like it a lot. I forget exactly what car that we're running. I don't know if it's this car or
This one. We stay
Okay,
in this
this
car
car.
for 3 races, then we rotate to the next car.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say. I don't know if I want to say it, but these guys are in for trouble at that track.
All right, so you might be calling your shot here in the 87s at Atlanta. We'll see. 130 laps. There's a lot can happen out there, and we'll hopefully see you back up to the front. Go ahead and give me your shout outs here from the 044 who came in third.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody who put this on. This is season 13. We're back with a vengeance, and I'd like to thank Bill for putting this on again. And we're gonna really showcase what we've got here. We got basically a stock car challenge with three of these different series cars, and we're gonna try and put on a show for you guys.
Oh yeah, and at least a 40-year spread between the 87s and the next gens, and this should be fantastic. Brett Guzik, congratulations on your third place finish, and we'll see if you can hang out here for the rest of the season. This is going to be tough, and this is already showing what we're going to see for the remainder of it. Congratulations, man, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that moves us with Brett Guzik there nailing a third place. We'll move on to our second place finisher here in the number 500 car of Nick Kaufman. Gained 6 here on the night. You originally qualified down in 8th. Not down in 8th. I would say you at least did pretty well with a top 10 start here tonight. But, man, you were back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. What in the world happened out there?
It was a battle. These cars are a handful. This is a wheelman's car. So, just being able to hold on to it for 113 laps that we did is testament to all the guys out here being able to race that long and put in the time to do that. But yeah, I think I was 2 laps down at one point, same as Brett, and just had to battle back. Went a long time without taking tires and almost lost it coming out of 4 one time on old tires. So glad that it didn't compound my mistakes. But once we got our lap back, we settled into a groove and just tried to make our way forward without getting caught up in anybody else's spectacle, if you want to call it that. And we were able to bring it home second. I thought that I was going to have a shot at first, but the new tires beat out the old tires. I was on, I think, 15 lap old tires, and Cody had just taken tires, I think the caution before the last one. So I wasn't able to keep it off the wall coming out of 4, but I was glad to hold on to second place.
I was going to say, as close as it got, we saw the ricochet into the wall, and we're like, oh, man, not again. You know, we thought it was going to be another one right when we were coming to the line, but fortunately you were able to hold on. Dude, as this race kind of progressed on, how tired are you being in the rig?
Oh, man, 113 laps here, old Daytona in the 87s. It wears you out. Like I said, it's a wheelman's car. You got to be on top of it every lap. Drafting here is not like drafting in the newer style cars. You have to lift every lap, and you have to, tires mean something here. So if you're out there on old tires sliding around and just trying to manhandle this thing, it takes it out of you for sure.
Yeah, and I would say it requires a lot more skill and a lot more attentiveness to keep this thing underway. But we move on to another track where these 87s can get so much speed and still trying to keep it in control. We move to Atlanta next week. Your confidence level coming off a second place finish into a track like that?
I'm pretty confident. Just glad to be racing again. Glad to be racing with these guys, and glad that they're still doing this after 13 seasons. But going to Atlanta, the big thing is going to be tire conservation at Atlanta, especially really anywhere that you go in these cars, it's going to be tire conservation. But Atlanta especially, old Atlanta likes to just grade up the tires. So whoever can hold on to the tires the longest and still maintain a decent amount of speed, look for them to be towards the front at the end.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had any sort of a secret. I've raced at Atlanta in the 87s, and about 18 laps, and my tires were just about cooked. So I don't know how you guys plan on trying to stretch it out 25 to 30, and maybe, obviously, I'm doing something wrong, but you guys are going to have something really ahead of you. Go ahead and give me your shout-outs while I got you here in the booth.
Yes, sir. I want to thank BRL for keeping on, and you guys for doing the broadcast. It's awesome to go back and watch, and for all the people that come out every night that we put on these races, for them to be able to watch. And I want to shout out my wife, and I've got a little baby daughter on the way in January, so adding to the family. Want to shout her out before she's even here.
Bro. Awesome. Hopefully you don't miss any time, though. But, hey, man, family comes first. Appreciate you coming out here to race at Daytona and coming away with a second-place finish in your number 500 Ford.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, Nick Kaufman with a second-place finish. And the man who gets engaged, misses an entire season, returns back, gets in a wreck on lap 105, and then can come back and win it. Let's go ahead and talk to him. Cody Welch here in the 85 Chevrolet. Definitely, what a show you put on here tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited to go back and watch this one. These cars are a handful. They're all over the place. That old Daytona, man. When you got to brake into turn 2, into turn 1, and into turn 3 at Daytona, it's just wild. A lot of fun.
Yeah, and I'm trying to explain to some of our viewers out there that these cars are extremely hard to handle, and it's no longer just kind of hold it to the floor and hope for the best. It's not any of that. You actually have to apply some sort of driving skill heading into these turns.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm in the car we're going to run this season. I'm definitely driving a lot with the right foot instead of the steering wheel. So it'll make it interesting, that's for sure.
All right. Well, talk to me. What was the hardest part about this race?
The hardest part. Well, I took a year off. I haven't sat in my rig in about a year. Just took a break to reset and to focus on home life and all that. Coming back, it was just, I don't know. I guess keeping these cars under me, or keeping my car under me was the hardest part. And just anticipating everyone else around me. These cars are so all over the place, loose and tight, and they'll snap around on you real quick. So just trying to keep the keep the car under me was probably the biggest challenge of the race. That and standing out of everybody else's mess. So we were able to do both and come home with the win. That last caution. Luckily, I had my fast repair and a set of tires left after me and Brett got into each other, and I was able to. I think I restarted ninth, and was able to drive through the field up to the front. So I just had fresher tires than everyone else at the end, and that's what counted. So.
Man, but what a call it was right here at the end. And I know you hate getting tangled up in any kind of cautions, but we head to Atlanta next week, and I've asked a couple of the drivers here before. The guy who placed third here tonight, his confidence level's high. How about you?
I feel pretty good. This iRacing thing for me is like riding a bike, man. I caught right back up, caught onto it again after taking a year off, and feel really good about it. And I remember racing the the Gen 4s at the old Atlanta, where you're literally steering with your right foot, and that's my kind of racing. I love it. I can't wait for it, and I should be pretty good. Hopefully, I can keep it up front, keep it out of trouble.
Excellent. And I was hoping you were going to say the Gen 4s, because I was like, either we're getting the 87s of the Gen 4s here in Bandit, and I got one of them, and the 87s did make it. Definitely, Cody Welch, go ahead and give me your shout-outs while I got you in there, and I would definitely include Miss Jennifer out here.
Absolutely, yes. Big shout-out to my girlfriend for allowing me to spend a lot of money on my nice simulator I got down here in the basement, and let me put the time in to practice and get ready to race a full season. Shout out to her, big shout out. Shout out to Bandit. Love Bandit, been racing Bandit for since season 9, I think. A great group of guys. Thanks to Bill to keep on keeping this thing, keeping it rolling, and just everybody that shows up to race, man. The core group of guys that have been here since the start. We all know each other real well, and I have a lot of respect for all of them. And I'm super excited to race with these guys every Wednesday again. So thanks everyone. Thanks to you for putting on the broadcast. Can't wait to go back and watch it.
Oh yeah, not a problem, buddy. Appreciate finally meeting you. I've seen your winning streaks out there and how well you've been doing, but now I've finally seen the man, the myth, the legend out there in the 85 Chevrolet. Congratulations on your first win back, man, and first race back and making it a win, and we'll see how you do at Atlanta.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. We're back, baby.
Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. Cody Welch out there. He's back. He is back in the driver's seat and back in the winner's circle. Fantastic job we saw here tonight, and everybody doing a great job holding on each and every lap, and especially when this racetrack is so difficult to handle. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for us here at Simtrax Broadcast and bringing you the Bandit Racing League here on this fine Wednesday night. Keep in mind, we do have Thursday and Saturday. We'll be kicking it off with the USRL League, finishing up their playoffs and keep rolling on with the Xfinity Series that they're running out there on Saturdays. But if you're looking for the Bandit Racing League, we will obviously be at Atlanta next week. And I guarantee you that's going to be just as wild as this one. And then we are going to continue to keep bringing you the best in iRacing. But from all of us here at Simtrax Broadcasting, be well, be safe, be kind, and I'll see all you guys next time.